video. I'm really struggling with the introduction to this video, so I'm just going to put it all in the description if you want to know what a Crafty Coven Halloween Advent swap is all about. If you want to link to either of my friends who I will be showcasing in this video, it's all in the description. It's all in the description, so have a look there. I didn't do opening videos this year because my house was having work done and it just wasn't a thing I could do. I will try to do that next year because it's quite nice having those opening videos where you get the first reaction to someone receiving their surprise. I quite like watching them. I know Belle did all that this year, and it was really quite nice, and Anna usually records hers as well. So yes, all the information, all the playlists down below. I will be showing you none of my own artwork today in this. These are all artworks and surprises and presents that I've received from my two crafty friends, Anna and Belle. I received a gift from each of them on alternating days from the 19th of October to the 31st of October. On the 31st of October, we receive a gift from each, so there's 2 gifts on that day. And I'm just going to get started as soon as possible because, you know, the beginning ramblings are probably not the most interesting thing, especially when you've got so many gorgeous things for me to show you. So on my very first day, and I am going to try and show you these in the order that I opened them, but it might not be exactly because I'd need to go through a lot of messages to figure out exactly which days I open stuff on, but you'll get the gist. You'll get the gist. On the first day, I opened a gift from Anna, and it felt kind of like a card, like a greeting card, but it kind of was and it kind of wasn't. And this is what she sent me, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Anna has a real talent for combining papers and textures in ways that my brain can't really do, but she's so good at it. And like, who's gonna put, like, you know, leopard print with stags? Anna does, and it works. It works. She makes it work, and I love that about her. I really do. I love that about her style. This gift is particularly meaningful because, as you can see, it says Crafty Coven does Whitby. The Crafty Coven consists of myself, Anna, and Belle, and this is a picture of all of us together. And the significant thing about this is we actually live in really distant places from one another within the UK. So I'm all the way up in Scotland. I know I sound American. I've been here for nearly 20 years. The Scottish does come out now and again. You'll probably hear it in my videos. But yes, I'm all the way up in Scotland. Anna is about 4 hours south from me. And Belle is about another 4 hours south from Anna. So we're quite spread out. And we decided for the first time ever, because we all met online years ago in a pocket letter swap thing. We kind of met, and Anna and Belle had known each other for a wee while before I joined in, and we just kind of formed this really excellent and long-lasting friendship together that's gone on for many, many years. I think we're up to maybe 8 years ago that was. And I've met with Anna on a few occasions. She's been to my house, but Anna and I had never met Belle before because she's the one who's the furthest away. And for the first time in April 2023, we all met up together in Whitby. And it was wonderful. It was so lovely to see them, and we went fossil hunting, and we had a great time together. It was just a few days, but it was so lovely to see them. And my kids and Anna's kids got to see each other. They get on quite well, and it was just a really memorable, special little like weekend. And Anna has commemorated that in this gift, and it's gorgeous. And if I pull this tab, all the pictures flip up, but I'm not going to show you that mechanic because there are pictures of our kids in here, and I'm not sure how Anna feels about me showing pictures of her kids, and I'm not a huge fan of putting pictures of my children on public forums either. So it's a really thoughtful gift. It's got a really cool papercraft mechanic involved. It involves fabric, paper, obviously, and it's just super creative, super meaningful, and I absolutely adore it. I'm so happy to have it. And now that I've finally made this video, I can put it somewhere special because I've kept everything together up to this point to do the video, and I haven't been able to like actually spread stuff out. I didn't want to have to gather it up again, or also because I mentioned my house was having work done. So in fact, I'm filming in a box to make it look like I have a tidy space. I do not have a tidy space. This is an illusion. So yes, now I get to put it away. The first thing I got from Belle now is what I'm going to show you. So she was for my day 2, and she made me these wonderful paper clips. Oh, sorry about that. That was me knocking over my water bottle because I am, and then knocking my camera because I'm super professional and efficient. That's me. So yes, Belle made me these amazing, they are altered paper clips, and there's a righty and a lefty, which is also like just such a cool detail. I love her altered paper clips. Every time I try to make an altered paper clip, it's not very imaginative. She's definitely has a lot more skill when it comes to this craft. So yes, they're altered paper clips, and as you can see, there's some glossy bits, some slimy bits. It's actually, I'm sorry, I would like to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in because when I get closer, you can't really see. It gets fuzzier. So I'm going to zoom in there, and you can see she's used this cool crackle glaze and to make the fence bits look aged. There's this cool frog, and everybody knows I love a frog. Specifically, or especially Belle knows I love a frog. Amphibians are just, they're everything. I adore them. So this is not only a really interesting and creative craft in its own right, it's personalized. That makes it especially special. It's got some charms here. I love this little goblin charm. I've never seen, and it's double-sided. I love a double-sided charm. I've never seen them before, and yeah, he's just really cool. So this is one of them. She's also used so that there's a lot of texture going on, a lot of different things. There's even metal on the fence, like wire. So we've got metal, we've got plastic, we've got lichen, which, it's usually sold as moss, or called reindeer moss, I believe, but it's a type of preserved lichen. I think. Yes, I use it in crafts too. It's got quite a rubbery texture, but it is preserved, like a preserved actual plant-ish type thing. Lichen is, of course, not exclusively a plant, but, most people don't know or care about that. I'm just hung up on details. So there's metal and plant and plastic and paper clip, and yes, that's half of my present. And the other half here is another bit of fence. It's got some femurs, I believe. That's definitely a femur. Yeah, that's a femur upside down. So they're little plastic femurs. And more of the lichen, more of the cool detail, slimy bits, and there's some hot glue strings as well, which I know she leaves behind intentionally because they look like spider webs. And Yeah, the paper clip and paper backing. And the charms on this one, it says bones, and it's got a little dancing or posing skeleton there. And they just go together so nicely. I can't wait to figure out how I'm going to use them. I actually have this really strong urge to make a pile of journals again. I know I've done that a few times and they don't sell, and I just end up hoarding them all, but it's okay. Well, some of them sell, but I just really enjoy the making. And while I'm making, I actually hate the making. It's a whole thing, but I have this really strong urge to make journals. So I'll maybe make a journal that's actually for me this time instead of just a generic making a journal for the sake of making a journal. And I will incorporate those in it because they are special and should be used. Now, my next present from Anna, because we swap back and forth day to day. I'm going to zoom out a bit for this one so you can actually see the whole thing, or most of it. Anna was experimenting with macrame, which is brilliant. I have tried in the past. I am not good at it. I cannot wrap my head around knots. But it's, a skill that I admire, and she did a beautiful job. And as I said before, with the way that she combines fabrics, I would not join these fabrics together in my head, but they work. They are super personalized to like my colors. I use a lot of neutral earthy colors in my decor, and she knows that. She has been in my house. They've actually both been in my house now. I had Belle over earlier. I think it was actually about this time last year I had Belle over, and it's just so nice. It's so nice to see them. So they are both very familiar with my aesthetic, and I'm looking forward to hanging this somewhere. Something I've never seen done in macrame before. She incorporated chains, which looks really cool. It feels really cool. And the most special thing about this, besides the fact that it was made for me and it matches my house, and it was made by one of my best friends, is the fact that it's incorporated this piece of driftwood. And would you like to know where this driftwood is from? She found it in Whitby, so it kind of ties into other things as well, and it's really special. And I love it. It's really tactile, and I will find it a good home very soon. So we're now on to Belle again, and I think this is the next thing I opened from Belle. And it's a pincushion, which is perfect because I always need a pincushion. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on this a bit now too, so that it's, a bit more clear. I also love the fact that she matched the pins that she put in the pincushion just for display purposes. That's brilliant. But yeah, I do always need a pincushion. I love a pincushion. And this pincushion is particularly special because it was made by cross stitch. So I don't know what the name is for the cross stitch fabric, but she dyed the base fabric. As you can see, that's like a pale orange, like a yellow orange. And then she did some bits of cross stitch on top of that, so it looks kind of like a knobbly pumpkin, and she stitched leaves on there as well. And I know how she would have made this. It would have been like a long strip that she's then gathered to make into a pumpkin shape, because that's how you make a pumpkin with crochet. I've done a lot of crochet pumpkins. I think one year Anna also sewed us pumpkins. But I thought it's such a challenge because this fabric is so rigid. So trying to gather it into a pumpkin shape must have been a real challenge, but it's so cute and it's nice and dense, which is good, because if it was super light, it would just roll all over the place too easy. She also put a real stick as the stem, and I think she must have die cut these leaves with felt for the top. So yeah, a lot of creativity. I think she said this was the first one she did, and she's not she'd like to make another one, but at the same time she'd not like to make another one because it was a fiddly thing. But it did come out gorgeous, and I'm so lucky to have it. And yeah, it feels really cool too because I love a knobbly pumpkin, as well, a warty pumpkin. And it kind of reminds me of that because of the stitches um, on the surface of the fabric, making it all nubbly bubbly. And there's also a cute little wire tendril sticking out, which is a really cool detail. I love the fact that it incorporates, again, you've got metal, you've got wood, you've got cotton, felt. This is probably polyester, so it's very tactile. It's got a lot of different fibers incorporated into it, and it's super unique, awesome idea. And yeah, I'm really happy to have it. I love it, and I can use it. I do love a useful thing that I can, get into every day. The next one I'm going to show you, I think, is what I opened from Anna Third. I could be mistaken, but I'm going to show you anyway. Something I need to ask her actually is where she found this dark brown twine. I've never seen it before, and I love it. I love twine because, again, it's another fiber that adds additional texture to things, and maybe she dyed it herself. That's possible, but I'll have to ask her. So it's a box. This is a box that she's covered in fabric and tied together with a bit of this twine. So I will undo the twine. I'm going to stay zoomed in so I can show you all the bits, but this is stitched into the kind of the spine of the box, the back of the box. It's kind of a book-shaped box, but as you can see, she kind of like sewed this kind of, I don't know if quilted is the right word, but it's like a fabric collage, I suppose. And again, with her Anna skill, she has combined knitted fabric alongside velvet, and this feels kind of almost like a scarf, like not quite silk, but like thin, like a scarf. And here that's more knitted fabric and some kind of polyester silky stuff here. And a lot of this stuff I know she gets thrifted as well, so she's really good at upcycling. And you can see also, like, this is the same kind of theme, and I have things made from her with this from previous years. So it actually ties in with other things that she's made me in my house. So yes, I will open the box now. It's kind of almost like a cigar box, I guess. And she's just kind of glued that fabric collage onto the box. She's painted the box, and she's made some things for inside the box. So it's not only a excellent little hidey hole in its own right, but she has also included stuff on the inside, which is awesome. This is really, like, I'm a little bit jealous I didn't think of it first, Anna, to be honest. But it's a matchbox. Look at that, which she's painted. And she's incorporated the sun and the moon in a very Anna art style, with some runes. And she's left the safety information on the back of the box, which is always good. And yeah, I love the shape of the matchbox as well, because that's pretty rare. You usually see matchboxes and they're, a lot shorter. So it's very unique, very, very Anna. And we we send each other videos of our gardens in the summer. This year, I think Anna sent the most videos. She's got an allotment where she grows all sorts of beautiful random things. She's kind of a chaos gardener in a bit, but she's got like this amazing accidental green thumb. And I haven't done much in my garden this year. It's not been a good year for it, but I am looking forward to planting these because I have like this enormous soft spot for poppy seeds, poppy plants especially. And a couple years ago, and I'm hoping that this is like the same type of seeds. She had sent me in the mail some like purple poppy seeds, and they came up and they were just so gorgeous and so big, and the bumblebees went wild for them. And it's really like cemented my absolute adoration for poppies. So I want to also see what a gray fluffy poppy looks like. This is just Anna E's, clearly not the technical name. This is just what she's decided to call them. I'm very keen to see what these look like when they come up. If they come up, you never know what's going to come up in your garden. So I love that she sent me seeds. I think I sent her seeds, both her and Belle seeds in another year as well. Ah, I touched the printer paper and it squeaked and now it's in my teeth. Sorry, Anna. I have a hard time with that. So I'm going to very carefully touch these awesome stickers with Anna's awesome digital artwork on them. And I'll try not to make a squeak that ends up in my teeth. Right, so Anna's a really talented artist. She used to have a store on Etsy where she sold kind of her digital stuff. She doesn't anymore, but yeah, she's got a very distinctive art style, and it's always lovely to have bits of her work in my house. So this is a horn, a goat horn. Anna is also Craft Goat on Instagram, and I think that's her name on YouTube as well. Anyway, I will find out what it actually is when I link her in the description. However, she loves goats. They're her favorite. So there's a lot of like goat references in her artwork. So yeah, that's a horn. And it's funny because the last time I was in Skye with my family up in Scotland, my daughter actually bought herself a goat horn. It was possibly a sheep horn. It was some kind of horn, and it looks very similar to this, and she was drawing all over it. So it made me think of Anna, and then she gave me the horn sticker, and yeah. And here's a new Crafty Coven, all in leaves. I almost want to say it's like a logo. She sent us, both Belle and I, she sent us one a year or two ago as well, which I did use, so I'm quite keen to have another one. I might even stick it on the inside of this box. That could be quite good. I don't know what I'm going to use the box for, but that is an idea. And then she did these little tarot cards. So as I showed you on the matchbox, there's a sun and moon theme, and she's done these cards, the moon and the sun, and her very distinctive Anna art style. And what else have we got here? We've got a crystal ball that's all wobbly and lovely with Anna leaves. We've got a snake, also with leaves. He's lovely. And we say, I came, I saw, I left early. Ain't that the ideal? Yeah, that's how I feel about most things. When it is safe to leave, you just duck out quietly. I will use that somewhere for sure. And here's another, just a bizarre little totem of sorts. Just Anna stuff. lovely, wonderful Anna stuff. And here we have a stay creepy little pumpkin guy with his wobbly crystals, and awesome. Just so happy to have more Anna stickers. I have stickers she sent me previously. As I said, the only one I actually used from it so far is the Crafty Coven, and I did put it on a notebook, and it's somewhere where I was keeping all my Crafty Coven ideas for next swaps, because I have a tendency to think very far ahead. So that was just one gift, one little present from Anna, and it's got so many layers to it. Has the wee box that matches my wee macrame. And the next thing from Belle, I think, was this. And this is a very special little box that she's stamped. And she's obviously done the front. It says a boo hug for you. And it's kind of like a giant matchbox. So if you slide it up, she's written a little poem. Even though we are far apart, you are always in my heart, so I sent this boo hug just for you to bring you comfort when you are blue. So this is on the theme of pocket support, which I covered in because I actually did a pocket support tin for Belle and Anna for this swap, so it's quite interesting that Belle, along the same idea, the same theme, but clearly we're not communicating with each other because these are surprises, had thought the same thing. So it's, pocket sized. And here's a little poem. And this is a little boo hug. So it's a satisfying to hold little, I think, polymer clay ghosty. And it fits in your hand quite nicely in a variety of orientations. And it's like almost a fidget type thing. And this is particularly special for Belle, not only for the thoughtful aspect, but because she doesn't sculpt. She doesn't do a lot with clay. So when she does, it's way out of her comfort zone. I think this just came out so lovely. Another thing I like about it is from like a crafty perspective and from a thoughtfulness perspective, it's literally covered in her fingerprints, which are it's like your handwriting to me. Your handwriting and your fingerprints, they are so unique to you. No one else has that. So this couldn't have been from anyone else with essentially her biological signature stamped all over it. And that makes it especially unique and special to me. I don't know if she had thought about it from that perspective, but that's where my mind goes for such things. Is even when I make things with polymer clay as well, it's like, your DNA is incorporated into that. Your physical stamping of your fingerprints is incorporated into that. It's like signing something in your blood, which is really quite morbid and weird, probably. But you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm getting at? I'm sure I'm making a point. I'm sure I'm making a point. Sounds a bit like a ramble, but yes, it's well out of her comfort zone. It's very special. And of course, I got the green because green is my favorite color. I got the green tissue paper. And yeah, I'm looking forward to finding a very special home for this little guy to live in. Belle has a tendency to create things mostly with paper and stitching. She does a lot of cross stitch. That's why I got the cross stitch pumpkin from her. So things that are sculpted are a bit different. And another thing about like doing this swap is exploring new crafts. For me, it gives me a lot of opportunity to just explore different crafts and have an excuse, like, to experiment with new materials or try something different. It pushes me out of my comfort zone, and obviously for Belle and Anna, it does the same, especially since we've done it so many years. So we're having to come up with ideas that are well outside the norm for any of us, because we've seen it all. So we try to surprise each other by doing different things. So it's a really good exercise to do with with a couple of, swap partners as well, especially if you're stuck um, and looking to explore more creatively. It really forces you out of your wee crafty comfort zone. So that was my last one from Belle. Now we're back to Anna, and I'll show you this. And I have to be honest with you, I'm going to zoom out. I thought this was a wreath of some description before I opened it, because it was wrapped up in this coil, right? And what it is it's a charging cable, a USB. Where's the other end? USB charging cable that matches with my phone. And I found out that she'd actually contacted my husband to find out which charging nubbin was compatible with my phone. So she made sure that she got that right, and it's just, oh, it's so thoughtful and so planning ahead. But like, I literally just squeed when I opened this, because I could not believe the amount of work that went into this. It's such a long charging cable. It's like taller than me, and I'm almost 6 feet tall. I'm sure it's taller than me. It's a very long. I'm gonna zoom in here so you can see how she's done it. So this is with twine, no less. This is that twine that I had on my box as well. So with twine, she has, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, but it's a thing we used to do like in the 90s, if you grew up in the 90s. People would do this to their hair, like they do it around a bit of hair, and you'd have like a bit of like colorful cord in your hair. And it's done by like, you kind of like an overhand knot over and over, and it forms this spiral pattern. Now, not only did she do that along the cable, so imagine if the cable was the central bit of hair or whatever, but she's also used this leaf, I don't know what to call it. It's like a trim. It's a leaf trim. If you're a crafter, you've probably seen it. I definitely have had some of it. I think I might still have some of it. So she's done that, but she's also made sure that the leaves can poke out, which is a pain in the butt to do. And it's not even with a smooth, like a smooth yarn. It's with twine. Forgive the hair there. That's all me. I shed a lot. And I have two very hairy children who shed a lot, so there's hairs often caught in my crafts, and I shouldn't have to apologize for that. I'm a mammal. I make hairs. That might even be Anna's hair. Who knows? We all shed. So yeah, back to the twine. Doing that with twine, it's rough. It's not as easy as doing it with like embroidery floss is what we'd use when we did it in our hair. This was a pain in the butt to make, and it is beautiful, and it matches my living room. It matches my aesthetic. It's got this dark twine that I love. I love the texture of it. It's such a thoughtful and bizarre craft. I've never seen this done. A lot of things, like, I'll be vaguely familiar with lots of different crafts as a crafter who, has access to YouTube and Instagram. I see a lot of things. I get a lot of ideas and inspiration. Never seen anything like this. It's just profoundly weird, and I love it, and I'm so happy that I can finally start using it. So yeah, that was that was my Anna gift for that day. and we're going to follow it up with a bell thing that is almost equally as bizarre. It's a giant clothes peg. She said, she like, what do you call it? She decorated it, but there's a better word for that. She kind of she gave the giant clothes peg a glow up. Is that what I want to say? I don't know. It's delightful, isn't it? So it's like decoupaged all over, and it's got this lovely insect paper, which is again highly personal to me. I adore the creepy crawlies, all of them. So yes, that's very unique unto me. And then she kind of did a little fabric collage with a little wooden embellished skull in the middle. When it was wrapped up, I think this bit got folded over. So I've been trying, I think if I take an iron, and this is sari silk, I believe. It might not be. She uses a lot of sari silk in her work. And look at all the different textures. We've got crochet, doily, and lace. And I do believe that's sari silk. It's a lovely shade of green, but it is, I'm thinking if I maybe just take like a hot iron and just like touch it, just to, because it's meant to look like this, but it's kind of folded over. So I just need to do a little bit of touch up on that. I've just noticed that this little piece of fabric here has insect on it as well. It's got a wee beetle. I hadn't even noticed that because it's like, you know, buried. There's linen under there as well. I don't know if maybe she'd stamped it. And look, there's little legs poking out. That's brilliant. That's something that I've only just now noticed. And cheesecloth. Look at that. So yes, this is very thoughtful, and I know a lot of thought and planning goes into things, which, you know, other people might look at and be like, oh, that's cool, but it's cool for like layers of reasons for me. Yeah, it's really, really unique. I think what I'm going to do, and she said she left the back plain so we could decide what we wanted to do with it. I might even like either glue on like a hanging bit with the teeth in it, because there's not really enough thickness to screw it in. So I might do that. I mean, even if I did screw it in and poke through, you wouldn't really see it though. Or I could stick a magnet to it, but I don't really want it to get lost on my fridge. I'd rather like hang it on the wall. And yeah, I think that's what I might do with it. So yeah, this is another thing which I was not aware of giant clothes pegs, but somehow she found one. And well, she found two because Anna got one as well. And she's like, yeah, giant clothes peg, gonna glam that thing up. And it's brilliant. It's just so utterly bizarre and wonderful. And as I said, we've been doing this so long that we really have to think out of the box to actually come up with new things that none of us have done before. And sometimes we do double back or revisit ideas, but always in a different way. But no, I have never seen a giant clothes peg. But I'm glad I have one, and I'm glad that it was my dear friend who made it for me. So we're back to Anna again. And, you know, I think I'm only like halfway through this. There's a lot to show. If you've made it this far through the video, well done. I should maybe, I'll zoom out a bit just to show you the size of this. This is a little journal that Anna had made. And there's a couple specific points to note about this journal. One of which is, see these designs here. You think, oh, that's cute paper. Not that one. I mean, it is cute, but I'm not pointing out that one specifically, but this with the skulls, this with the leaves, and I think they're little cats. Anna designed all that. That's all her artwork, her digital artwork. As I said, she used to have an Etsy where she sold like paper packs and digital things that you can print out at home. So she's also covered the skull in her own papers. This is actually a bit of napkin. She is equally good with the with the collage combining of papers. She's equally as good with fabric as she is with paper, is what I'm getting at. And things that I wouldn't put together. I mean, we've got bunnies in a kind of Ostara or Easter orientation, upside down, by the way, and skulls that are pink with hearts, and then you've got this random shiny bit of card, and it just ties it all together, and it works. And that's her superpower. That's Anna's superpower for sure. And there's a bit of sewing and these lovely like frayed bits. This is an envelope, and there's a personal letter inside, which I'm obviously not going to share. I've just zoomed in because you get a much clearer picture when I do, but so yeah, this is roughly what, A6 size journal. And then you open it up. This is Anna's art as well. There's some lovely fabric here. She used this to tie up our presents as well. She kind of makes her own ribbons sometimes. And again, she probably got that thrifted, and she just uses it in scraps and bits and pieces. This is more of her art, a witchy hat type motif. And what have we got here? So it's a big sticker. There's random fabric that she's just sewn in for just the tactile pleasure of it all. This here is like almost like a paper bag type paper. It's a bit almost like baking paper even, but it's got shiny bits. Big sticker, more Anna paper here. It's moons and stickers, and she's just collaged the hell out of everything. She's included writing space with index card. This is a bit of napkin that's glued onto card. And here we've got parchment paper, I believe, and other paper. So it's very junk journal-y style, but she's incorporated all sorts, including her own artwork. This is more just fabric that's been sewn in just for the tactile pleasure of it all. And here's a little flip up bit, and she's put a pile of die cuts in here, which I'm not going to take out because I don't want to bend them. So that's just a lovely little pocket full of die cuts that I can use in other things. And here's more of her witchy hat paper. And here's a belly band, and there's some, I think these are just bits of cards. So we've got a Happy Halloween, Haunting University, where spooking begins, and another Happy Halloween, and a Stay Wild Moonchild. I'm not sure what those are from, but they are all useful, and what did I want to say? They match. The theme is strong. Here's another pumpkin paper. I didn't show you that very well. So this, I don't believe, is Anna's paper. However, the background paper is. And she just flawlessly joins all those bits together. This is an Anna thing, I believe. The background probably is hers as well. And then there's this tissue paper. And again, fabric just in there, and collage ripped up. I think this is actually written on the words. She's written those words by hand. I can tell because the pen is depressed. So she's literally just created that with, you know, doodles. And then we have more of just various kind of collage-y bits. Another sticker, some stamped bits on parchment paper, some craft paper. Oh, it's metallic on the other side. Just wild. I mean, her paper stash must be so varied. I have a tendency to stick with brown. Brown is very much my aesthetic. Craft paper. She must have the biggest scrappy pile of various things to pull from for these. So this is another one with all fabric. This is an Anna doodle, but it's a printed doodle. Here we have a tag. Oh, two tags. And again, it's just Anna collaged and backed onto her own pumpkin paper. Her pumpkin paper is here. This is a nice little pocket. It's, there we go. Sticker. This is her wolf paper. This is a sad looking little ghosty he's like a little pad of papers. I love those mushrooms. They're brilliant. And underneath, this is all just paper clipped in. The paper clip is even fabricy and tactile and gorgeous. And yeah, there's more stickers that I can stick to things. And here we have more stickers, more papers, just endless writing space. She made a few of these journals, I think, at one point. Just experimenting to see how well she could incorporate her own stuff, and it worked so well. And this is another just bit of fabric that's sewn in, but it's got like these, on one side it's shiny plastic, on the other side it's like velvet, so it's just a really deliciously satisfying tactile bit that's there just for the pure joy of it. I mean, you can't write on that. It's there for the pure tactile joy of it, which I love. And here we have a little bit of fabric tied onto the page. And here's the back of the book, the last pages. We've got leafy paper, we've got wolfy paper, and a sticker. And yeah, that's a journal that Anna made for one of my gifts, and it's so Anna. It is so distinctly Anna. You'll not see anything. You might see things that are put together in a similar way, but it's very unique when you can have pieces of the actual artist in the journal. It's very personal and very unique. You can't get that elsewhere, especially since she doesn't sell the digital packs anymore. I suppose you can't even buy her art that way. Oh, I forgot to also show you the beads that are on here. So we've got a pinky, a blackie, and a clear bead there, and it's just so coordinated. Which brings us back to Belle now. And this next thing she made me was just a little stitched piece. And it's like a plastic but looking like wood frame. And it's got an S for Sarah. Anna, I think, got one with an A. And it was quite funny because this green doesn't really show up on camera, but it is really, really bright, really shiny. I thought, oh, I wonder if that's glow in the dark. But actually the ghost is made with glow in the dark thread, but not the S. And I'd meant to ask her, and she'd said to me the ghosty glows. I thought, oh, I thought the S would glow and not the ghosty. I don't know. I should have known better, because I too have glow in the dark thread, and I know that it's not luminous green, but at any rate he does glow in the dark. See if I can charge him up here, and yeah, you can kind of see a little bit, maybe, I don't know. it's just cute, a cute little personal thing. And as I said, Belle is a cross stitcher. That is her primary fiber art go-to, is cross stitching. She's incredibly fast. And it's just a cute little ghosty. So yeah, that's what I got from Belle for that day. Which brings me right back to Anna. I feel like I spent tons of time on Anna's and hardly any on showing you Belle's, but that's because Anna's had like several, there was a lot of layers, and this is like, boop. But wait till you see the next one from Belle, but not until you've seen the next one from Anna. Okay, so this is the second to last one from Anna. I'm going to zoom out so you can see. It is like a makeup bag or a pencil bag. And it's like, oh, that's cool. She's kind of layered another patch on there or something. But what's specifically especially cool about this bit she's layered on top is this is Anna's artwork. She did not paint this. It's like on denim or something cottony. She painted it with bleach, so she had to paint this like in reverse. So just the highlights. She used a reference for like a photo of a skull, and she literally painted this with bleach, and I love it so much. Painting with bleach on clothes, or oh, there's my name on a tag she also did, and it also matches the other stuff that I've buried now, but you can see it's all deliciously coordinated. So I was really excited about this because this is essentially a painting, but it's not a painting with paint, it's a painting with bleach, which had to be done in reverse, which I super appreciate. Painting with bleach is something that I've wanted to try for some time, and I haven't got around to it, but I was so excited because I knew exactly what it was when I saw it, and I was just really, really happy to have it and excited because I knew how it was made. Well, I can usually tell how things are made. That's kind of what I do, but I can appreciate how it was made, and it's not something I've done myself yet. And yeah, that's a really cool craft that I need to try and give a go as well. But I also love the fact that she thought to put it on a bag. Like I would have ended up trying to paint on a t-shirt or something. And now that she's done it and I've seen how she's done it, I'm like, oh, that's a really good idea. I could just do like little patchy bits instead of having to commit myself to like a sweatshirt or something. And then adhere them to other things. So, yes, you might see something similar coming from me at some point. Inside she had this postcard, which is something that she'd bought at a craft fair from Etsy. So this isn't her artwork, but it also doesn't say whose artwork it is, which is unfortunate because it's like, I know I'm really bad for it as well. I don't sign my artwork, and she can't even remember where she got it from. So that's where it's handy for, people selling their art online to, leave something of yourself behind if people want to find you again. There's no signature or anything, but it's really cute. So I'll use that for something. And this is the Crafty Coven logo she made, but instead of it being a sticker, it's a sticker on that has been stuck to magnet. So it's a super thin magnet, so I can stick that to my fridge. I should probably do that now that I don't need to keep it in the bag because I've made this video and I can put stuff in places. So yeah, I'm really excited to have a Crafty Coven magnet with Anna art. Boop. I should zoom in so that you can get a much better look at the artwork without it going all fuzzy. So there we go. It says bones on the side, bones and bones. But yeah, I just, oh, it's a really unique art style and execution. Haha. So that's really really cool, and now I can actually use it for stuff. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it will be used. Which brings us back to Belle, and here I went through Anna's whole journal that she made. Belle also made a journal of sorts. It's like a taggy one, so I'm going to try and keep this zoomed in so they don't lose the detail. So it's a journal, but it's made entirely of tags, and I love the fact that like she's also added floof at the top, and it makes them look a bit like potion bottles to me. And this will be dyed fabrics she's dyed, fabrics she's acquired, and so each tab is like its own little textile collage. And she's made a dangle for it as well. It says Curious Oddities, and it's got some beads in there. Lots and lots of different textures. Sari silk, cotton, yarn, acrylic, yarns, and all sorts. I mean, this even, I think I sent her this, like, wrapped around my presents last year. This yarn here. It wouldn't surprise me because she saves everything. She saves everything and upcycles it. So this little book, instead of it being like bound the way Anna's was, is bound with 2 rings. And she's like grommeted all the holes, which is awesome. And this is a paper pack from, I think, Release the Craftin. I think. Was it Release the Craftin? I think so. Anyway, and Belle's done an entire video with this, as well as the one she made for Anna, which is more of a, so it's a similar style, doing a taggy book, but the theme is like pastel-oween, so it's very pinky and pastel-y, whereas this one is a lot more me with the grungy critters and creatures and weirdness. Not that Anna doesn't enjoy weirdness, she most certainly does, but it's funny because the 2 sets were released at the same time, and Belle was on the design team, so she got them like for ahead of time and for free to help promote the paper packs. And she decided to do this craft with them, and they matched both Anna and I incredibly well. So that was, you know, a shoe-in for her advent. So I'll show you the inside of these. So each page is like 2 tags sandwiched together, and in between the sandwich we have, I'm not going to show you every single one, but there's these index cards for writing space. So, because Belle always likes to include writing space in her journals because she uses them for writing. I don't know what I'm going to use this for, but I will use it. So there's like pockets as well, and tags, and it's all using this paper pack, which has a variety of cute little critters. There's writing space there. Nice little guys. What is this? Is this an envelope? Yes, it is. This is a little envelope, actually. So she's taken this whole paper pack, and, you know, most people use these for journals and whatnot, and Belle likes to think out of the box because, you know, paper crafting is, I can't get that on camera, but it tucks into the back. Paper crafting is Belle's superpower. And yeah, she likes to think out of the box a bit, so if everybody else is doing journals for their kind of presentation, she'll like to see, well, how else can this be used? And that's why we get Taggy Book. taggy book. I love this little, he's like a little witch doctor bunny. She also used a lot of glow-in-the-dark mediums, so I think his eyes glow in the dark. So if it's super glossy, it doesn't glow in the dark, but if it's not super glossy, it glows in the dark. That's how I figured out which bits glow and which don't. So she went really overboard. Even like these candle flames, you can't really tell, or maybe you can if I shine it, but they all glow in the dark as well. And then she did like glossy on the eyeballs. And again, the sandwich, in between the sandwich we have index cards that are stamped, inked, and slot in. So you've got like the tabby tabs and then the tabby tabs, and these also are staggered, so they're not all just stacking on top of each other, which is a whole, you know, it's a design element to think about and appreciate. And here we have a little goat, which is so lovely, and some other things. And there's Taggy Tag and Sorry Silk, I think Sorry Silk. And this is another little envelope, and we've got little vampire fruits because why not? Which is also funny because both Anna and Belle are mostly, Belle is mostly vegan, Anna is vegan. And yeah, so the vampire fruits just cracked me up because it just reminds me of them. Lots and lots of tucks in here, and this is a writing space thing. This is all like chunky raised, I think, grit paste, and that glows in the dark. We have this, I don't know if he looks scared or just surprised, but I believe he's a raccoon. Another little tag in the sandwiched bit. Come on, get in there. And look at like I said, each tag is its own little textile collage. So there's just so much that so much thought and creativity that goes into such a compact little thing. There's a lot to explore, and every time you look at it, you'll find new things because you won't get it all in the first shot. I'll tell you that much. Again, this has like, look at the snail with the candle on his back. He's brilliant. I think his eyes, yep, his eyes will glow in the dark. I can feel the texture there. And a little centipede and a frog, of course. That's for me right there, of course. Some more little bits and pieces, tags with writing space on the back because of course they do. And here there's a spider, and she's glossed his little eyeballs. You can't really catch that glimmer, but yeah, his eyeballs are glossed. Also, the richness of the colors of these papers just printed so nicely, and textile collage. And here we have a belly band with some bits, a tag slid up the back with a mummy apple this time. More writing space. I adore this little beetle. He's everything. And also, like, with the blue on the black and the colors, I just really, really love these colors all together. The color palette for this set is just delightful. I use the word delightful a lot, but I mean it. It brings me delight. It brings me joy. Visually, you can just stare at this stuff and, I don't know, maybe you can, I can, and just be quite happy. So this is a shaker pocket, which is full. I'm trying to shake it out a bit. You see spider webs, skulls, and incredibly coordinated sequins. And it's in a tag shape, because of course it is. And she's sewn it all in, and it's got its own little textile collage at the top, so it fits in perfectly. And shaker pockets serve no other purpose than happiness. It just brings you happiness to look at it, to feel it, to crunch it, to explore it. It's a thing. It's just, you know, plastic, which I'm sure she's upcycled from something, because that's what she does. And she's made something out of it. And here we've got more of the artworks and sandwich tab pull out. And here's another one of that little goat with writing space on the back and a little tuck. So many tuck spots, so many pockets. I don't know who the actual artist is who created these, but I know that the person who made the paper pack, I believe she like pays for the use of the artwork. But I would like to know who did the actual artwork, because it's just wonderful. It's really cute. Oh, did I miss any tucks there? I don't know. There's just so much. As I said, you never, with something like this, and Belle does sell her creations, her books and things. If you ever get anything from her, I have many. I am very lucky to have many things from when she even first started making books. But her talent and skills have grown substantially since then. And as I said, you can go through it and you'll never see everything the first try. You'll never catch everything on the second try. You can go in and find something new every time, because there's just stuff tucked away and hidden and popped out. And I mean, sometimes there's even magnetic closures, which I have copied in some of my books as well, because magnets are great. And yeah, she has a very distinctive style, and she puts so much thought and care into everything she makes. So yeah, paper crafting is for sure Belle's superpower, whereas I'd say textile crafting and just making the most bizarre collages with textiles and upcycled things is definitely Anna's superpower. And these glow in the dark, of course they do. They're eyeballs, and they're like in this raised grit paste. And I asked Belle what it was, and then I found it, and I got some for myself for my birthday. So thank you, Belle, for inspiring me to get that. I have no idea how I'll use it, but I do have some, because as I'll show you in my last present from Belle, the grit paste can be used in a variety of ways. More vampiric fruit. More sandwiched index cardy thing. And we're coming to the end here. Smell my feet, it says. And just loads of tucks, loads and loads of tucks, loads of little taggy things, and they all have writing space on the back, because with Belle, there will always be writing space. It's not just art for art's sake, it's art for art's sake and practical use. And I love practical use. Because it makes things like customizable at the same time. So you like participate in the art. And this is the last page, and he's got his own little thingy here. And then the back, which it's not just the back, it's also a belly band with writing space, because of course it is. And this, I think, is some kind of wax rub-on shimmer stuff. If you watch Belle's video, she'll tell you what it is. She'll tell you what it is. So yes, I've got a book, a journal from Anna, and a taggy journal from Belle. And I'd actually sent them each a trifold, so it's kind of on theme, but we each did a different thing, which is really cool to me as well, because of course we're not collaborating with one another. We could have each sent each other a journal or not, but we've got like a journal, we've got a taggy journal, and we've got like a trifold that has a mini journal inside of it. So we've all done similar things on a theme without collaborating, which is how we crawl into each other's brains and without trying. If you know people long enough and well enough, it's something that happens, isn't it? Now, this is the very last gift I got from Anna, so this was my Halloween gift. I will zoom out so you can actually see most of it. And it's a planchette. It's a planchette, which she's actually made with a magnifying glass. And this is like corrugated cardboard, I believe, which she has covered and painted. So this is her artwork on top. I'm not exactly sure how she, secured the magnifying glass inside, but as you can see, it is a magnifying glass, plastic one. And on the back, it's got a hanging thing. It's got a hanging thing that is secured in with these little screws. So how unique is that? Have never seen anything like it. It's very, very Anna, very unique. I am not one for Ouija boards, but a planchette on its own, delightful. There's that word again. It's just gorgeous. I love it. And Belle got one similar but different as well. And it's just such a bizarre idea executed brilliantly. So different and so I don't want to say easy to replicate, because obviously either you can paint or you can't, but you can see how it's come together. It's like just a great like upcycling craft to even do anything similar. I mean, you can see how it's been covered. You can see the bits, and that adds all sorts of texture and interest as well. She is the queen of upcycling. I believe that's what Belle coined her as, the queen of upcycling. Oh, and I'm the queen of crochet, apparently. So this is the last thing that Belle made me, and I'll show it to you from a distance so you can see the whole thing, but then I'm going to zoom in to show you the details, because that will make the image a lot more clear. Now, Belle, every year she'll do kind of it's almost like a diorama collage type thing. And this is something she's really good at as well, where she just takes all sorts of bits and pieces from her stash and she brings them together into a cohesive, highly personalized arrangement. If you look on her channel, or I'm sure most of you have seen her channel by now, she did a brilliant book thing recently, which was another thinking outside the box to design team project thing, I believe, or a challenge thing, whereas most people would make some kind of journal-y type thing with it. She ran with it in a completely different direction, and she did something similar where there's just all these bits and pieces that kind of tell a story and go together, even though might not necessarily put them together otherwise. So this is kind of a shadow box that she's made. And she's got like this shattered acetate type stuff in a couple of windows to look like broken glass. And I'll just take you through each of the pockets, the alcoves. So here it says "Dearly Departed." She's got what do you call it? Scrabble bits, and it says BOO, boo. There's two little girls here. I have two little girls. Anna got something similar. It's got two little boys. She has two little boys. There's lots of like very deeply personal nods in each of these, even though they're similar. They're very different at the same time. She's got these little seed pods that look like pumpkins that she uses in a lot of things. Now, I have some of these that are red, and I've got a whole pile of them, and I keep meaning to send her some. So, Belle, I need to send you some seed pods. So then you'll have red ones too, because I've never seen you use red ones, so I'm assuming you don't have any red ones, but... Oh, I've dropped something. But I know she would use them if she had them. So she's got some of that lichen in here, that really cool, like, acetate that's, like, shattered. You can see there's a hole. And of course, the background of each of these, so they're like collages that have been built up from the back to the front. Each little alcove has its own little arrangement, and there's so many layers to each of them as well. And here there's a little skull, a little tombstone that she is distressed. There's all sorts. There's a little bat there. Oh, there's a little bat wing here. There's a bit that broke off. I'll take you over here. This little bat, he's so cute, but he needs a little repair. So I'm gonna pull that out so that it doesn't distract from other bits. Here we have a little candle on one of those seed pods, and I think she said she used alcohol inks on these little marbles or beads. I think they're spheres. They don't seem to be drilled. And here we've got like cheesecloth that hangs down. And remember I was saying about the grit paste that I asked her what it was, and I got more. So bits of this all glow in the dark with that grit paste. So it's like sand, the texture of like sand. And she's got that smeared in all places here. So there's lots of glow in the dark elements in this as well. Here's some bottles that she made up, and she dyed them with alcohol inks, and I believe that's real wax she's poured over. And again, it's like each alcove is a collage built up from the back to the front in 3 dimensions. This hangs down when it's not like being pushed onto its back. More seed pod, more femurs. Tim Holtz loves his femurs. And a picture at the back, which is just stock pictures. I think they're all Tim Holtz ones that Belle uses, so they're not personally significant. Little ghosty, little burb. He's like similar style to the frog that I had on my little clip, my altered paper clip frog. So you can see there's lots going on in here, and so many layers. And then this little bat who has the wing that I need to fix, which won't be a problem. I'll do that later. And here's another one with this shattered plastic look, which I think she said was Tim Holtz as well. And even in here where you can't really see, but it's still not neglected in any way, shape, or form. And here's more cheesecloth and spheres and grit paste, so all these bits glow in the dark. More of this, more little bottle and bugs, of course, that's for me. So it's like a little curio cabinet shadow box, and I will, now I can put it somewhere. Oh, I forgot to show you as well, there's like sorry, washi tape of like little gravestones all around the perimeter, and the back is just painted. So it's like a 3-dimensional collage with each alcove being its own little showcase. Very cool. And that was my very last thing I opened for my Halloween Advent for 2024. I think this is possibly the longest video I've done because there are just so many bits to show you. So many thoughtful little bits and pieces, and as Belle says when she shows off the makes that Anna and I have created, it's not just to obviously show our appreciation for the time and energy that's gone into these things. It's also a method of trying to, show other people how creative you can be with some of the most basic of materials. Um, we hope to inspire other people with the things that we have made to, take it a step further, try it yourself, do your own advent. It is truly just something that we all look forward to so much every year. It's so much fun, and it's such a great excuse to try new things, to try new crafts, to emerge from your comfort zone, especially if your swap partners are people you're already friendly with, people that you can take things a step further. It's just it's a really helpful exercise, much like the Inktober for me is a very useful exercise, and um, drawing, this is a very useful exercise in multimedia. um, and as crafters, we can get stuck in a rut in terms of the materials we use, or what we think we can do. And it's important, as creative beings, for us to do ourselves a favor and push those boundaries and see if we can maybe find new things that we like, and see really what we're capable of. And I guess I'll stop rambling now. I mean, if you've made it to the end of this video, well done. It's almost an hour and a half long. Um, I'm just really glad I was able to get through it today, because now I can put all my stuff in all the places. Um, Besides the fact that everything is everywhere because my windows just got installed. New windows are good though, I can like see outside now, which I haven't been able to do in years. Um, yeah, so, right. I have no idea when I'll be posting new videos. I do have several things I can probably show you, because as usual, I'm always making, always creating, rarely recording. Um, but yeah, definitely if I start making those books that I've got digging into my brain telling me they need to be made, I'll definitely be showing you those. Don't know when it'll happen. So, bye for now, and I will catch you later.